The number one selling product in my services business is social signals. I get a lot of questions every single day about them, so today I've decided to break down the top 5 myths about social signals that you probably believe. So let's jump into my computer and get started.
So you want to be a rock superstar and live large, big house, 5 cars, you're in charge.
Myth number 1 is that a social signal is a post on social media. A lot of people that know me are probably laughing right now because they know what a huge pet peeve of this is of mine. I've made a blog post about it before and a video on this channel before that I'll link to in the description. But a social signal is not when you post on social media. So what I mean by that is a social signal is not a Facebook post, a tweet, a Pinterest pin, a LinkedIn post, or a Google Plus post, or whatever else there is. Those are just posts. Those are not a signal. Anybody can make a post. A social signal is when a post that you make on social media gets liked, shared, retweeted, repinned, plus one, and so on. So think about it. Anybody can go sign up and create a Facebook page or a Twitter account or whatever and post their link to it. Those don't have any value, or I'm not going to say they don't have any value, but they have very little value because they're easy to get. Getting someone to like, share, retweet, repin, plus one, and so on your post on those social channels is valuable because, in theory anyway, it should be harder to do because it shows interest in your content. So if your content is interesting, people are going to like it and share it and so on. If it's not, then it's going to get ignored. The reason this is important is because these are signals that tell Google, hey, this content is interesting to people. Perhaps we should take that into account and reward it with higher search ranking. That's the value that social signals have to SEO. I'm not saying that the posts don't have value, but that they're not social signals. They're not as valuable to ranking your site as these types of things are. So that's something that people really need to get clear, because a lot of even like quote unquote experts in the industry don't get this right, and they teach it incorrectly as well. So this is something I think it's very important to learn. And again, I know people are laughing because it's something that I go on and on about because a lot of people just don't understand. But it's really important to get it right and to understand it. So a Facebook post, again, a social signal is not a Facebook post, a Twitter post, and so on. It's a like, share, retweet, repin, what have you. So hopefully that makes sense. That is myth number 1. Myth number 2 is drip feeding social signals makes them look more natural. This is one I get a lot. People say it doesn't look natural to send 1,200 social signals to a site all at once. It looks natural to drip feed them over 30 days or something. But honestly, you're wrong if you think that, because let's think about it. If Bob the plumber creates a new business, starts his new plumbing business and creates his new website, one of the first things he's going to do is put it on his Facebook account and his Twitter account and so on to tell his friends. His friends are then going to share it, and hopefully his friends will share it and so on. That's a big surge of social signals that it's going to get all at once. After that initial signal, Bob's site probably isn't going to get shared a ton because who goes around sharing business sites and so on. So it doesn't make sense that you would get a constant stream of social signals. It makes sense that you would get a surge of them and then it would drop off, and maybe occasionally you'd get a few here and there. Or if you add a new page or some new links to your site and that sort of thing, new content, then it makes sense that you would get some more social signals because you're adding new stuff, and once again, it's going to get shared and so on. So hopefully that makes sense. This one drives me a little crazy too, because people create these things in their mind that they think is natural, but they really have no idea because it means something different to everybody else. Some people are like, it doesn't look natural unless you drip it over 10 days. It doesn't look natural unless you drip it over 30 days. But if you ask them why they think that is, they just have no way of explaining it. It's just something they think about and they worry about that doesn't really exist. So I'm not saying there isn't a place for drip feeding. I think that it can help if you maybe do like a big surge and then drip feed a little bit after that. So maybe that helps a little bit, but overall it just doesn't make that much difference, and it's for the most part not that necessary. So that is myth number 2. Drip feeding does not necessarily make them look more natural. Myth number 3, too many social signals will cause a Google penalty. This is just a paranoia that a lot of SEOs have, and it's just not true. Social signals will help, and the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to get to a point where they don't do any good anymore. I can't tell you the exact number, but every site has a number that Google's going to think is natural, and I've never found a number that is too many. And by natural, I mean anything above that point, it doesn't really pay attention to because it doesn't help it any further. But anything under like 10,000 is going to be fine. Anything over that is not going to cause you to get penalized or cause your ranking to drop or any of that nonsense that people worry about and think about. All it's going to matter is it's just not going to do any good. So don't worry about going too much. It's better to have too many than not enough, and too many is never going to cause you a penalty. So these are really powerful. They're important for ranking. So I say go. I was about to say something nasty. I'm going to say go heavy on them and make sure you get the full benefit from them. So hopefully that makes sense. Myth number 4 is that social signals alone will boost your ranking. This is not true. I get this question a lot on orders that I get. It's when will I see the effect of this? And a lot of the times they just haven't done anything else, or it'll be weeks later and I'll get a complaint. It'll be like, I did this 3 weeks ago and it's the only thing I've done and my ranking has dropped. I was like, well, yeah, of course it has. It's the only thing you've done. Or it didn't affect my ranking at all. Like, well, again, doing just this isn't enough. What you need to do with social signals is you're trying to create the illusion, well, assuming that they're not natural social signals where people have legitimately liked and shared and retweeted and so on your stuff. If you're buying social signals packages, what you're trying to do is simulate virality. So what I mean by that is you're simulating that your site, post, content, whatever, has gone viral, and you're going to do that alongside your linking that you're doing, which is the main source of your ranking increases. But social signals alone aren't going to do that, but you're going to help it along with social signals. And in my experience, you can't do it without them, but you can't do it with just them either. So don't buy a package of social signals, or don't create a bunch of social signals from your friends and family and what have you, and think that alone is going to boost your ranking. It might, but it really doesn't. Like, if it does, it's probably just a coincidence. So they're important. You need them in order to rank, but you need more than just that in order to rank. So hopefully that makes sense. And that's that point. And the 5th and most important myth about social signals is that there is any place better to get social signals than Superstar SEO, located conveniently at superstarseo.com/shop. That's all I've got for you today. Hopefully this helped clear up some of the myths that you have about social signals and gives you a bit better understanding about them. If you like videos like this, and why wouldn't you, do me a favor and click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll know right away when videos drop. I'm going to keep uploading them for at least another 10 days or so, but I'm going to consistently be adding great content to this channel because I enjoy doing it, and I hope that some of you benefit from it too. If you'd like to join tomorrow's Q&A, you can join us at superstarseo.com/Q&A. That's Q-A-N-D-A. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.